So you want to build business credit fast, but you don't know how to, or you're stuck, or you've tried, and you just don't know where and what to turn to start building business credit. So let's talk about it. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 accounts that you can use. They're called Net 30 accounts to build business credit and actually start your journey to get your funding. Okay? My name is Mel. This is Team U Credit and Finance, where we talk about all things money. For today's video, we're going to be focusing on building business credit, where to start building it, what accounts to use. So let's dive into it. So I basically have a list here because I didn't want to leave anything out. I just wanted to make sure that I'm giving you everything. Now, the list that I'm going to give to you, maybe it sounds a little bit cliche because I know there's, hundreds of videos that are talking about getting business credit and they're talking about the accounts, but the question is, are they really breaking it down and telling exactly, what these accounts do and how to use these accounts to build business credit? All right. So with business credit, there's a few ways to develop or earn that credibility to make lenders want to, lend you your money or give you their money to build that credit. So if you're having a hard time building business credit, or you find it very difficult to get anyone to give you credit, such as a business credit card or funding or even a line of credit where you can draw from it, the best or the easiest way is to get some merchant accounts, also known as Net 30 accounts. So let me explain to you exactly what Net 30 accounts are. So they're exactly what they sound like. You net after 30 days, okay? You could purchase something, and after 30 days, exactly, they would like to have their payment back. And that's how you build up credibility, and that's how you open up your credit profile with the Net 30 accounts. So let's dive into a few of them that people use, especially for startups or for new businesses that want to establish and want to build business credit. So to build business credit fast, the list that I have here is, the first one that I have is something called Uline. That's Uline. So Uline is a company or a Net 30 that actually, sells businesses shipping supplies and packaging supplies. All right. That's what Uline does. You could order your shipping and packaging supplies from this company. This one is great because, again, if you have your office, you're into the shipping business, whatever it is, you could just go online, look at what they have, and you could also order from them. And the same routine, they pay, every 30 days you pay them their money. And I'm going to keep urging and emphasizing throughout this video, please do not pay these people late. Do not pay them late. It's better that you even pay a little bit earlier than you are supposed to. So for example, like, let's say you use the account and you happen to come across someone in the business, instead of waiting until the 30 days that it's due, if you want to quickly pay them, or let's say you just use it just to utilize it and you happen to have the money where you could pay, I'd say to pay it back right away. Because the more credibility you can show that lender is the quicker and the better way for you to build that business credit, or to build that line of trust and line of credit with them. They would definitely love if you could build that up. So the next one that you're going to use is Quill. Now, Quill is really cool for getting office supplies, your stationery, your pen and paper, whatever you use in the office. Quill is good with that to pick those things up. And again, you go online, you could always order. You guys still have that little Net 30 account. When you order from them, depending what you order, you get your supplies mailed right to you. It's fabulous because you're building credit at the same time, especially with Quill. And just as a side note, these companies or these, Net 30 accounts that I'm literally giving you, for the life of me that I can remember with building business credit, they've been around for so long. They've been around for so long helping people to build business credit. So again, this is not something new. The reason I mention this is because these are reputable companies that help businesses to build their credit profile up. But again, you have to use it responsibly. And once you're using it responsibly, it's a lot easier for you to build that business credit. So the next one that I want to talk about is Granger. Now, Granger is not like the Uline and the Quill. Granger focuses and centers on tools and industrial supplies. We need tools. We use tools to build things or to fix things. That's exactly what Granger does. So if you're into a business where you fix things or you need supplies such as tools and so forth for your business, Granger is great to start. And the procedure is the same with all of them. You apply. But I just also want to point out that when you do apply to these companies, right? When you apply to these companies and you try to, get the funding or get the business credit for these companies, you also have to bear in mind that you still have to be an established business. And I know it might sound a little cliche to keep saying it, because you will have people that are, using, instead of using their legitimate business and instead of using their tax ID to set up these merchant accounts, they're literally using their social security number. Now, again, that's a whole different line of, setting up with taxes. That's a different video. But all I'm simply saying is that please ensure that you have a legitimate business that you're using to set up these net 30 accounts, right? Because remember, you're going to have to make payment every 30 days. And I would assume that they are going to be taking payment out of your business bank account. Again, in business, I always tell people that the biggest thing in business is looking and being legit. More so being legit. You want to take accounts, or you want to take products and supplies. You want to set up accounts, you want to take products and supplies from these people or these, net 30 accounts. But if you don't have a legitimate business, what sense is it going to make? You're just going to frustrate yourself because you're not going to qualify you. They're not going to allow you to do it. They're going to tell you when you have an actual business, then you could come and do business with them. So if you're looking to, make tools if you're looking to buy tools or any type of industrial supply, Granger is great for you to start. Now, these companies I'm giving you, these are just some companies that allow you to build business credit fast, meaning that you don't have to go into the bank and just literally try to get that business credit card, because banks, I'm not saying when you open a business that a bank cannot give you a business credit card. Yes, you can get a business credit card, but many a times you get a business credit card based off of your own personal credit. They're going to run that. So if you know that your personal credit is not as strong to qualify to get a business credit card or a business line of credit, then the Net 30 accounts is a great place to start. It's a really good place to start. It's good to, basically establish your business credit profile. And again, you're building business credibility fast. You're doing it quickly. What you're doing with these merchants accounts. So I don't care, whatever it is that you need for your business. If you need office supplies, do it through Uline. If you need, if you need office supply, you could do it through Uline for packaging. If you need other office supplies, you go to Quill. And if you need any type of shipping supplies, go back to Uline. And Granger's for the tools. Utilize these companies, because I don't care what business you're in, every single business requires and needs some type of supplies, preferably office supplies, because you got to run your business, right? Again, please, team, please comment, like, subscribe, smash the like button, push this video through the algorithm. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's trying to start or get business credit and would love to know on how to utilize these accounts, or even where these accounts are to utilize them. So again, please, pass this information through. Please comment, like, subscribe, and share. All right, so the next company that I have that helps you to build business credit fast is Staples. Good old-fashioned Staples. I love Staples, going to Staples all the time. Staples, as you know, provides, office furniture. If you need that beautiful desk to put inside your nice office, Staples is good for that. If you also need, stationery, you need pens, papers, etc., whatever it is, a stapler, it doesn't matter. Staples is good for it. And Staples also sells things for technology, like, if you need like your little laptop, your desktop, and so forth. Staples is a good place to get it. And again, I'm not promoting any specific company, but, for me, one of the frustrations that I've had when I've started businesses, literally, knowing where to get the stuff that I needed. A lot of times, people don't tell you they gatekeep, but I'm here to tell you that Staples is great for getting like your office supplies. And again, we are going to get our office supplies from Staples because we are building our Net 30 accounts. We're going to use, and these, You know what? I also want to point out that these accounts are easy to start. All you really need is just a legitimate business. You go in there, or I'm sure you could apply online, and you just literally show them your articles of formation for your business and your business bank account. Okay? The same stuff that you've been using to establish that business, the same thing you used to open these net 30 accounts, right? But opening a net 30 account should not be difficult. You should not be feeling frustrated. You should not be annoyed. Somebody shouldn't be giving you a hard time about getting a merchant account, because these supplies that you're going to be purchasing with these accounts, they're necessary. It doesn't matter what business that you're in. Everybody needs supplies for their business. Everybody needs office supplies to conduct their business. So if you're looking for, your office furniture, technological stuff, Staples is your go-to, right? And the next one that's, pretty easy, or, quick, or using it as a quick way to build business supply, is your Home Depot. Now, again, this might sound a little cliche, but Home Depot is a construction store. So you see all the people that do construction, all the guys and the gals that do construction go in there and they buy all of their materials. Well, I have news for you. A lot of people that you see in Home Depot buying stuff, they're buying it through their Net 30 accounts. But as I always say, and I always break it down, you have to definitely pay these accounts back in 30 days. That's why they're called Net 30s. And I've repeated it several times. I've said it in this video several times, and I said it in other videos. You must ensure that you pay these Net 30s literally on the 30th day or before. If it's me and I have a Net 30 account, I'm literally trying to make my payment a little earlier. If it's me and I come across a little bit of money before the payment is due, I'm going to send it in. So I was doing live on personal credit, and a gentleman that I was on the live with me had a really, really great suggestion, and I think so if you have any money and it's, easier for you to pay back those net 30s before the 30-day mark, I would advise you to do it. I would advise you to definitely go in and do it. Now, as far as Home Depot, I don't know if you're into construction or you're not into it. If you're into construction, that's fine. It doesn't matter. You're just trying to establish these accounts. You're just trying to pay them off in time because you want to build up some form of credibility. You want to show that you can manage a Net 30 account. So when you apply for the bigger accounts, such as the business credit card, and you apply for the lines of credit, you want to ensure that you could, show the banks that you could pay these off. And they definitely appreciate you paying those accounts off. Again, team, if this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel. This is Team U Credit and Finance, where we talk about all things finance. Today we're talking about credit. We're talking about building business credit. We're talking about how to build business credit, not just building it, but building it fast. Okay, we're trying to stack as much money as possible so we can have enough money to let our business flow. We can buy our supplies, we can order things, we can perform our services, and not have to worry about where am I going to get funding. I always tell people in my videos, I say, a lot of people understand that, starting a business is a lot of people's dream, but a lot of people worry about money. They worry about where the money is going to come from. They worry if they're going to have funding. They worry if they're going to have enough to buy supplies and materials, for the next fiscal year in their business. We don't want to worry about that anymore. This is why it's so imperative that we should secure funding. So, as I said, Uline, Quill, Granger, Staples, Home Depot, those 5 that I've given you, those are easy ways, or those are quick accounts that you can establish and open to, build some credibility with your business profile, right? And the thing about it is, as long as you have your business and it's legit, you don't need a co-signer or a co-borrower to get a business, a Net 30 account for your business. You don't need a co-borrower. What you really just need is just the fact that you're a legitimate business and to show, that you've been making your payment over time. Remember, the Net 30 accounts report to the Business Credit Bureau, which is exactly what you want. You want them to talk to Dun & Bradstreet. You want them to talk to Equifax Business. You want to talk to Experian Business. You want them to start developing that credit report card for you, that business credit report card. So when that business credit report card is developed, you can apply to get bigger and better loans. But these net 30 accounts. These accounts are basically a stepping stone to getting the bigger accounts or the bigger credit cards or the lines of credits. This is what these accounts are used for. So if it's me, I would definitely utilize them. And once I utilize the accounts, this is a great way for me to establish business credit fast. Again, if this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel. This is Team U Credit and Finance, where we talk about all things finance. In today's video, we are talking about obtaining and getting business credit as fast and as soon as possible so we can get money to be able to buy the things that we need for our businesses and not worry about not having enough money to meet our financial demands in our business. I also want to point out one last thing about these accounts. Just ensure that when you open these accounts and you're having your things shipped. Another thing that that shows credibility in the business, when you're having things that are shipping and coming to your business with those transactions, you want to ensure that that your shipments are coming to your business. They're going to your wherever your business address is. Okay. Again, banks look for consistency. You can't have a Uline account where you're ordering packaging supplies and you're sending it to your home office. Does it? You're sending to your home residence. Okay, if your office is at your home, then that's fine. But you can't be having your supplies or whatever you're ordering coming to your home address when you've already established a business. You have a business address and a business bank account. It doesn't look professional. It looks, I'd rather say it looks tacky. You don't look serious. You don't look like a real business owner. It looks like you're just setting something up to get it. So as I always say, when banks, qualify you for certain products, they have certain criteria that they go by. I would ensure that my packages are being mailed to my legitimate business address or where my legitimate business is. We don't, the word for today, whether you're opening a bank account, whether you're just doing the merchant accounts, we don't commingle. We don't mix things. All right. Whenever we have our packages shipped out or we have, supplies that we order with these 5 accounts that I mentioned, we either pick them up ourselves. You can go to the Home Depot, that one, and pick it up ourselves, or we have them shipped and sent to our legitimate place of business. You're showing consistency. You're showing that you're picking up materials. You're showing that this is where, you bought your things. You're showing that, okay, I have a legitimate business and this is where I require my shipments to come. Because remember, with net 30 accounts, basically, there's a lot of shipping involved. There's a lot of shipping involved. Because remember, these places supply things, especially like stationery. They supply things. They supply office supplies. They supply tools. They supply things for packaging. They supply things for mailing things out. So again, you're just quickly using these type of accounts to get the things that you need, to establish that you have a legitimate business. And every legitimate business needs supplies for their business. So I wouldn't have my business supplies that I'm using or I'm buying with my net 30 accounts going to my personal home. I would have my business supplies literally coming to my business. Shows credibility, shows consistency, shows that you're serious minded and that you're definitely utilizing these accounts. Okay? As I always advise, if this content resonates with you, please like, share, subscribe. Pass the video on to somebody who's trying to establish business credit. Show them or let them know that they can easily get business credit through opening net 30 accounts or opening these. They also call them vendor accounts. Okay? These are vendors that specifically specialize in helping, businesses, whether it be new or older business, but most likely or most times these net 30s are used by new businesses trying to establish business credit. So in actuality, what I want you to take away from today, you don't have to drive yourself crazy trying to establish business credit. Crawl before you walk. Rather than expecting to take out a credit card where you're going to get a $10,000 or $5,000 limit for a business credit card right away, start with the net 30 accounts. That way you can build up your credibility. And once you build up your credibility with those accounts, then you can go and apply, for your business credit cards and your line of credit. Sometimes it's good to have a mixture. If you have your net 30 accounts, you can have a mixture. One thing that we need to learn about credit is that, even on the personal credit, it's a mixture of things that make up your credit profile, right? So just like this with these business accounts, right? Or with these net 30 accounts, it's good to have a mix. If you're just starting to establish credit, you're just trying to do, business credit and so forth. Start with the net 30s, and then later, as things get better, then you jump and you get the the business credit cards. Okay, that's it. That's how you're going to do it. You're going to apply for the line of credit to get funding. That's how you're going to do it. Funding comes in all different ways. You don't literally have to have a credit card to be able to have it. I don't know about you, but if I have a business and, for example, if I need office supplies and Quill is giving me a merchant account, I'm definitely taking it. I don't really need to have Quill's credit card in my hand, that to put me in trouble or to make me buy things that I don't necessarily need to buy. I think these merchant or these net 30 accounts, they're good because you specifically buy what you need to buy while you're building up your credit, with some type of credibility. You get exactly what you need to buy. You're not putting anything extra in it. You're not buying unnecessary materials. Sometimes with like regular credit, when we have extra credit, we tend to buy things that we don't need, and we only swipe that card because we had it in our hand. All right? If you was to go into Home Depot and you're just buying, I don't know, maybe some screws, you're only gonna buy what you need, which is good. You don't want to take on any extra additional bill, and when you take that extra additional bill on, you can't afford to pay it, and you're there feeling frustrated. It doesn't make sense. Again, I always tell people that you don't want to frustrate yourself when you're trying to get your business together. It doesn't make any sense. You want to have a peaceful flow in your business with your money. You want to make sure that everything is, you're seeing what revenue is being generated from what's coming in. And you're separating your business credit to make your purchases and to basically, build your business's financial credibility up. That is the importance of having business credit. So again, if this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel from Team U Credit and Finance. If you got this far in my video, I thank you so much. Please comment, like, subscribe, and share. Share the information to somebody that might, whether it's you or someone else that's trying to establish business credit. Please, help this go through, and hopefully they could get some type of information or some type of help from seeing this video. With that said, team, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for your time. See you in the next video.